What is up, everybody? It is Alex from Heavy New York calling from Zoom again, and this time we are here with Hauptman of the almighty Feuerschwanz. It is great to be able to talk with you. Thanks for being here.
Oh, that's great, Alex. Hello. Nice to be by you in New York or what?
Yep, calling from Brooklyn, New York.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing to be able to talk with you in Bavaria, where my heritage is from. So,
Yes. Wow.
yep, my family's from
The old roots.
Yep, my family's from
Yes.
Straubing. If you're anywhere near there.
Oh, that's great.
Yep, Straubing,
I'm
Germany.
from what? Probably
Straubing, in southern Bavaria.
Straubing. Yes, we know it. It's real in Bavaria. I'm near. We are apart from Bavaria, but we called Franconia. Our part of Bavaria is calling Franconia. It's a little bit the story of Scotland and England.
Oh wow.
The Franconian people feels a little bit under the imperial system of the Bavarians, but it's nice.
I apologize on behalf of my people. On behalf of but it's so great.
Okay.
It's so great to have you here. This new covers album that you released, this new covers compilation, which features amazing covers ranging from ABBA to
Wow.
Amon Amarth and so many other amazing covers, The Weekend and more. Were these covers that you've always wanted to do? Were you specifically picking these out, or like did this compilation just sort of like happen out of the blue in a way?
Yes. Well, we in the year 2020 we going to Napalm Records, and we going out to the metal world, world of metal, and we decide to make a bonus album with cover songs for the 11th Commandment, the das 11. Gebot, and we decide to have some nice covers. And there was so good feedback from all people all around the world. We were very happy with it, and so yes, there comes another bonus album with the next album, Memento Mori, and now we decide, okay, it's the time is right for a cover album of Feuerschwanz with Final Countdown, with Gimme Gimme, and this is a little bit the story, and it's a collection of songs. Some songs is the title songs of sin when you don't cover this song in a rock version, but we try it and we take our sound, the folk metal sound with the medieval instruments, folk instruments, and then yeah, now it's the Feuerschwanz sound.
Well, do you feel that because these are cover songs that you were like approaching this with a different creative mindset than what we would hear on albums such as Memento Mori or Alf's Leben or Prima Nocta? Was like with all your albums of original material, does this covers album like resonate with you differently, and was it a very different creative process?
Yes, Feuerschwanz is has a nearly 20 years history, and now we in the last 3 4 years we going to folk metal, more to folk metal than to medieval folk rock, and our transformation to this sound. It's very good to have cover songs, and it's very good to have English cover songs to get in connection with English speaking people, to say, okay, here's a song with an English lyric, and but our original sound, and it makes sense to combine it, and but it's far away from the sound of Prima Nocte, the first album of Feuerschwanz. This is really folk of a in a tavern, in a bar or so, in a medieval bar. It's a little bit different.
Mhm. When it comes to folk music, whether it would be, bands like Corpaclani or Elevite or so many, or a band like Kalma that has all these different folk elements in it, I've always noticed that they always express different stories in their albums, and they always express like I've considered almost a lot of folk metal bands to be concept albums, to bring out concept albums. Do you
Yes.
write stories based on the history of your people or the history of or do you tend to go back in history when with the lyricism in Feuerschwanz, or do you like to write songs that are more in your personal life with just the folk metal aspects of it?
Yes, very good question. In in Europe, there is a big tradition of the Celtic people. The Celtics were all over Europe, from Ireland, Scotland, England, France, Germany, Switzerland, and so on. And the instruments of the Celts are our roots of all over Europe, and this is a nice tradition to have bands to combine it with rock or folk rock. And the history of Feuerschwanz is a little bit to have some fun with the medieval stories, and we are come from more from party like Kopiklani, but we are German, not so freaky. I think Kopiklani from Finland or so.
Yeah.
We are not so much in the north, and have a little bit other direction, and our songs are Viking stories about the Vikings, and a little bit our animal is the dragon. We have much songs about dragons, and we are fantasy nerds. The Tolkien world. We make songs about the Tolkien world or other fantasy worlds,
Mhm. With
universes.
with that, would you say that the songwriting process consists of not just, playing your instruments and jamming together, but would you say that there's a lot of research and a lot of exploration of like literature and other or other legends just to as part of your songwriting process as well?
Yes, we need some inspiration from old books. The Edda is an old original North book with stories of the North gods, and we have something to inspire. Yes, the old books, old stories about heroes from the medieval time and the Viking time. Yes.
Yeah. But is there ever a time where your own personal life and your own personal experiences also influence the lyrics? Or do you look at Feuerschwanz as mainly just like an escapism from who you are in your daily life?
No, we are real. We are real. We live our lyrics in real life. We are a family band or so. No, like I think it's little bit the same like not Flogging Molly, because the Boston band with a
Uh,
bagpipe and punk and
Dropkick Murphys?
Dropkick Murphys. So we are bros and scissors, and we live that our lyrics in the real life too. Yes.
Mhm. I've always wondered. This is like a question I ask a lot of folk bands because there are a lot of bands that metalheads love that I would never call folk metal. Bands like Heilung or Wardruna, bands along those lines. But they have such a metal following. Why do you think that metalheads have such an appreciation, not even just for folk, but like this traditional instrumentation?
Yes. It's for metalheads. Metal is a little bit a combination of Christian, the church and the Christians, and the devil, and classic music, and the folkies bring a new. No, it's another combination for metalheads, and this is the Celtic roots under all these things of church and classic music, and we bring the roots. So the folk metal bands bring the roots of epic heroes with their swords, and they go into the battle and so on.
And do you feel like your music has to more or less like has to capture a moment too? Because I feel like a lot of albums have different emotions behind it. When you go to like Sex is Muss, that I think has a very different subject matter and a different
Yeah.
idea than an album such as Das Fte Gebot, and forgive me if I destroyed that, but
Oh,
like
it's great.
yeah.
Das elfte Gebot. Mm-hmm.
So do you have like a preconceived vision of what you want every album to sound like, or is it like a very experimental process?
Yeah, it was an experimental process to get from a band with much fun in it, much humor about drinking, and have epic um, epic stories with women in the medieval time and so on, to another direction, like Das elfte Gebot. It's a song about death. It's a song about life and death, and our time is not. We have not so many time here in our world, and now the live now, and there is a new there are new directions for us towards epicness and yeah, deeper themes in life.
Well, you know, your music is very technically impressive, and even you have this party and fun aspect behind it. I do find Feuerschwanz music to be
Mhm.
very thought provoking and, you know, fairly educational in a way in how it informs
Yeah.
us on these different stories. So, when it comes to the technical excellence in the songwriting, is there ever a moment of seriousness involved? Because it sounds like the music, you know, it's not very easy to play, and there has to be a lot of focus involved in that.
Yes, all over the years, Feuerschwanz, nearly 20 years is our band history. All over the time, we working on our songwriting process, and we are proud of it to make it by ourselves. And now we in other that this is really another level since 10 years before, and the last 10 years it was a fantastic way to a higher level of songwriting, of producing songs, of singing, of playing. No, okay, our guitar player was really good in the 20s. He's a really good guitar player all the time, but now he comes in the world of metal back, and it's for him it's paradise.
Absolutely. Do you find it maybe easier to think of ideas when you're all in the company of each other, or do you prefer to be alone in your own element when thinking of different ideas?
As in, we are all of each band member has possibility to have a home studio in the apartment, and yes, we working together, but in the modern way of work. Every yeah, my English is not so good. Okay, we work together and have all of us has a computer and make sessions at home.
Mhm. Is it better if everybody in Four Schwans is feeling the same way about a specific song and is on the same page when songwriting, or could all of you feeling differently about something actually help enhance the song in a way?
Yes, in the last years, our mastermind is Hody. He's from band side the producer of the songs, and we bring Hody our parts, singing or guitar playing, and then after that we go to the producer in the studio, and he makes the master sound of it, and this is a nice way to produce our albums.
Yeah. And when it comes to every album, do you feel that that your music is like a series in a way, since you have all these stories? Could you consider Feuerschwanz music to be kind of like a Lord of the Rings, where like you need to listen to every album in order to get the idea of it, or does every album stand out in its own right?
That's uh oh, that's a good question. In the album Das elfte Gebot, it was the first album in the time. I don't know. The release of this album was in the pandemic time, but there is a change of the lyrics from Das elfte Gebot to Memento Mori. This is more. Memento Mori is more deeper than Das elfte Gebot, because the pandemic time was. We make the lyrics in the lockdown time of Memento Mori, and there is no party song of our own, because there was no party at all in our life. But we have Dragostea Dinte as a cover version. We have great party covers in the album, Dragostea or Bad Touch, and yes, this was a hard time for us.
Yeah. But I think that in those hard times, you create a positive music that is needed for the rest of the world.
Oh, great, thanks.
Yeah, of course. So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time today. Is there just anything else with Feuerschwanz that you would like to promote? Maybe 2023 is around the corner. Could we be expecting a follow up to Memento Mori fairly soon?
Yes, we're working on a follower album, and we're working very hard. Feuerschwanz one is hungry. Our dragon is hungry, and in 2023 there will be a new own album of Feuerschwanz.
And we're looking forward to hearing it. Thank you so much, everybody. We are here with
Okay,
Feuerschwanz. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We will see you next time.
thank you.